Since the Saints decided to fire Captain Doofus yesterday, 30 minutes or so after I said, do not be surprised if Denise is brought back next season, figured I would do a follow-up video on it this morning. There were two reasons I thought Denise would, at minimum, be coaching the Saints through the rest of the season. Number one, this franchise is the very definition of incompetent. I have had it with both of these franchises in New Orleans. I am sick of the Saints. I am damn sure sick of Zion Williamson and the Pelicans, who we're going to be talking about a little bit on the main channel today, along with an update on ratings in the NBA. But with the Saints doing damn near nothing that makes sense, I figured bringing back the most elite loser in the NFL would be par for the course for this franchise. And number two, Nick Underhill alluded to this happening last week. For those that don't know, Nick Underhill, he is the go-to guy for Saints information. Now, in his defense, I was going off something that he said mid to late week last week. It is entirely possible that he updated his sentiment Sunday night and I just missed it. But either way, who cares? The only thing that matters is Denise is no longer welcome in the building. Had a lot of you guys reach out to me yesterday asking me if I was excited, asking if I was hopeful for the future of this polished turd of a franchise. The answer to both of those questions, no. Like I said yesterday, firing the diva, that is just step one to a very, very long process. Does firing Denise fix the problems in the Saints locker room? Absolutely. As expected, Dennis Allen lost the locker room a long time ago. He should have been fired last year after he apologized to the Falcons after he looked like a complete bitch on national television. Me personally, I would have fired Dennis Allen in October of 2022 after he told Andy Dalton at halftime on national television to keep doing what you're doing. What did Andy Dalton do in the first half? He threw multiple interceptions. I think two of those were pick sixes, and the Saints were getting their ass kicked on Thursday Night Football. Keep doing what you're doing. 6 or 7 games into his tenure, I would have fired Dennis Allen. I guess it's better late than never, but this team has got a very long way to go. Long way to go. None of this matters if you don't fix the problems at the top. None of this matters if Mickey Loomis isn't the next to be fired. If you haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. If you happen to stumble across this video, be sure to check out my main channel, Behind the Line. Search Behind the Line here on YouTube. Should be the first channel that comes up. If you're a fan of the Saints, this is probably the most pivotal moment for this franchise in the last 20 years. The decisions that are made over the next few months, they're either going to put this team on the right track or it's going to set the franchise back another 3, maybe even 5 years. They have got to hit multiple home runs in the draft. They need to hire a young, hungry head coach. More importantly, they need to hire someone that is intelligent to make these decisions. Because one thing I know for damn sure, I don't want Mickey Loomis anywhere near this rebuild. I will give credit where credit is due. Gayle Benson finally stepped in. Finally! And did what needed to be done. She bypassed the dumbass and went directly to the players to ask about the other dumbass, and Gayle Benson made the call to fire Dennis Allen. Now, she needs to make the easy decision, but a decision that's going to be very, very tough for her to make personally. And Gayle Benson needs to fire Mickey Loomis. For starters, you have got to move on from Sean Payton. It's over. Hell, it's been over. But for some reason, the Saints, mainly Mickey Loomis, is having a hard time letting go. Everyone has moved on but them. But the main reason you got to get rid of Mickey Loomis, he is the reason that the Saints are in this mess to begin with. He has had 3 years to clean up the salary cap. He has had 3 years to clean up the mistakes that he made while he was chasing to win another Super Bowl with Drew Brees. And Mickey Loomis has been a huge embarrassing failure at doing so. He has actually found ways to make things worse. I don't want this guy anywhere near this rebuild. The Saints haven't had a good draft since 2017. If you go back 10 years, Mickey Loomis, he's only drafted well a handful of times. It has been one mistake after another, one restructured contract after another. Yesterday, there were reports that the Saints would be sellers at the trade deadline. They could be looking at trading everyone. Yeah, except for the fact that it's not possible. Most of these contracts are untradeable. Mickey Loomis has pushed so much money into future years, the only way out of this mess is to embrace the suck. But those are just surface level reasons as to why Mickey Loomis should be fired. Let me give you the real reasons I would get rid of this asshole. Mickey Loomis seems to be unable or maybe unwilling to admit his own mistakes. A couple of weeks ago, when the fan base was once again demanding that Dennis Allen be fired, Mickey Loomis gave us a passionate lecture telling us to look beyond the results. You know what good organizations do? We look beyond the results. We You're saying we, like the Saints, are a good organization? You're telling us to look beyond the results in a results-driven league? Let me ask you something, Mickey. I've got a 4Runner in my driveway. Nicest car I've ever had. Immaculate paint job, fully tinted windows, leather seats. Exterior looks great. The interior has every amenity you can think of. Here in a few minutes, I'm going to get my 4Runner to go get coffee. If it doesn't crank, should I look beyond the results? If it doesn't start, should I just appreciate how great it looks sitting in my driveway? If it doesn't start, it's completely useless. At the end of last season, after Dennis Allen once again pissed everyone off, this time for throwing his entire roster under the bus and apologizing to the doofus Falcons, Mickey Loomis, he had a meeting with the entire locker room. Mickey Loomis looked the entire locker room in the eye, grown men, and he told them, Dennis Allen is staying. You can either buy in or get the fuck out. He's not saying that about Sean Payton. He wasn't talking about Dan Campbell, Sean McVay. Mickey Loomis was trying to force grown men to buy into Dennis Allen. Would you want to work for that guy? Would you have any faith that that guy has the answers? That guy can turn things around? While I'm glad Dennis Allen is fired, I am not anywhere near satisfied. Gayle Benson has taken care of step one, but it's the next step that's the most important. You have got to make the tough decision to fire Mickey Loomis. Do I think Gayle Benson will make that call? No, but she's already surprised me once. Maybe Gayle Benson will surprise me again. What do you think? Will Mickey Loomis be fired? Let me know. Sound off in the comments below. I'll see you guys on the main channel.